Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this evening's call. I want to welcome you to the call. I want to make sure that again, we are recording, so that is why we ask people to mute their videos as well as their cameras and their sound because we are recording. We don't want to interfere with the streaming of this call. So we want to thank each and everyone for joining us this evening. What I'd like you to do is, if you are a guest tonight, particularly a Van Tart, make sure that you put in the chat your name at some point during the call and put your name and say who you were invited by. We do see many names in the participants list, but there are some people who show up either as iPhone, iPad, phone number, and sometimes it's not clear. And we want to make sure we recognize you for joining us. So again, if you don't mind, please put in the chat your name and who invited you. For example, if your name is Mary, and we heard you earlier, Mary, if you're invited by Van, please put that in the chat so he knows that you're here. So again, welcome to the night's call. You are in for a treat. You were invited to hear about a tremendous technology that is literally changing lives on a major scale. So the person that invited you cares about you because, again, the information that they're going to share with you, again, this information is literally life-changing. If you got the invitation that said you're going to hear about an opportunity, a technology that was developed by a gentleman who spent 20 years of his life and $5 million of his own money, create a $600 million company that's on its way to being a billion-dollar company. And the reason it's becoming a billion-dollar company because it actually is helping people change their lives. The company's called LifeWave. I'm going to tell a bit more about the company, but I'm going to tell a bit more about the technology first. So I want you to sit back, relax, get a pen and pad if you must. I may say some terms that you may not be familiar with. I may say something with you that you definitely want to get more insight on. So again, we're going to talk about a product that is way ahead of its time. In fact, this technology at one point was thought not to be even possible. So imagine if you could harness the power of the light to change your life. And we're going to talk about that as we get into the presentation. So my first question to you is, if you are on for the first time, have you been patched yet? If you have not been patched, by the time I'm finished with this presentation and information, you will want to be patched because it could be life-changing for you. The patch is simply about the size of a quarter. You see the young ladies wearing a patch on their arm. I'm going to show you the patch. The patch is, again, about the size of a quarter. And it has an adhesive on one side, and basically when you put it on, you wear it in your body. But this patch actually elevates, activates, and regenerate your stem cells. Now, many of you may or may not know much about stem cells, but stem cells are the repair system of our body. In fact, why should that be important to you? Because by the time you turn 30, most of us actually, our stem cells become 50% of our stem cells are inactive. Now, interestingly enough, none of my doctors ever told me about my stem cells becoming inactive. In fact, by the time you turn 60, nearly all of your stem cells are inactive. And that is why, we take a long time to heal. That's why when we get hurt and injured, it takes a long time to repair because the stem cells, they make up the tissues, the organs in our bodies. They are their body's intended repair system. So think about it. I can remember as a child, I would be swinging out of a tree, I'd ride a bike uphill. I mean, I was very daring and I got injured a lot. I remember breaking my arm, but I remember also being in a soft cast for maybe a week or two. And once I got out of that cast, my arm was like new. I had a couple of bruises and scars from scraping my knee and running and playing sports, and all those scars cleared up. But I noticed when I got a little bit older, when I was playing sports, if I got injured, it took a lot longer for it to heal. And what happens after we turn 60? Most of those injuries become permanent. For example, a lot of people are getting knee replacement, hip replacements. I got a friend that has two knee replacement and a back and a hip replacement. He's almost like the bionic man. But that's typical. People, again, are not recovering. Their repair systems are not doing what it was designed to do. So the bottom line is the less active stem cells you have, the slower you heal, the faster we feel effects of aging. That is why we all have friends that have canes, walkers, wheelchairs, knee replacements. We've had friends that have a cool walk, and they're not walking that way because they're trying to be cool. They're walking that way because they have to compensate for a bad leg, a bad hip, some kind of injury or something that happened to them. So millions of people are experiencing the effects of aging at an alarming rate, so much so that we're seeing people get injuries and people get illnesses at a younger age that we thought was not possible. I mean, we got kids in their teens getting cancer and diabetes and all kind of things that we once only related to people of a certain age. So why X39? X39 is important because this is a technology that's going to help reverse, activate, and activate those dormant stem cells we talked about. And again, it's something that hits its time. And I'm going to tell you why it's called X39 in a minute. But there were 38 attempts to get to this point, and on point, and when it got to X39, that is when the magic happens. So let's talk a little bit more about this X39, how it works. Again, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Proprietary simply means there's a patent on it. That means somebody developed it and created it and got approved for it, and is only available through the person who created it. Phototherapy is not new. Many of you, when we get vitamin D, we don't get vitamin D from the sun. When we go out to the sun, certain wavelengths of light hit our body and it wakes up the vitamin D that is already in us. God has already given us a body to heal itself. So again, we already have vitamin D in us. We just need certain wavelengths of light to wake it up. Well, this is a patented nanocrystal technology. As I said, it's a patent, and understand you cannot get a patent for something if it does not work. If it doesn't say, if it doesn't do what you say it does, you will not get a patent. Nanocrystal, nano simply means very small. Crystals, again, are the ingredients in this patch. They're organic salts, crystals, and plant-based ingredients. And it is a technology. It's not a drug. It's not a chemical. It's non-transdermal, which means it does not penetrate the skin. It reflects light to activate what's called your copper peptide. Now, in your body, there's a protein called copper peptide, and it was discovered back in 1973 by another scientist. His name was Laurent Picard. Laurent Picard spent his life trying to figure out a cure for cancer, because when he was 5 years old, his grandmother had cancer and she died from it. And it terrified him so much that he promised his mother, he said, listen, I'm going to find a cure for cancer. So he spent his life trying to find a cure for cancer. He prayed about it. He worked, he talked to his family. He comes from a family of 15 ministers. He did not find a cure for cancer, but guess what? He is the one who discovered the copper peptide. And he said it came to him after he had an intervention with asking God to help him find a way to cure cancer. So copper peptide, again, is something in our body. It's called GHKCU. If you want to look it up, a lot of people are putting ingredients in products now in terms of GHKCU, which is a peptide. Now, it's been discovered back in 1973, and Laurent Picard said, if you can figure out a way to activate your copper peptides, guess what it will do? It will wake up those dormant, tired stem cells that are going dormant and sleeping and just there, but they're not doing anything. The great thing about this product is there are no drugs or chemicals. You don't have to worry about the pharmaceutical cartels giving you drugs and treatments that are sometimes worse than what you're dealing with. And if you ever watch those commercials, I was watching a commercial the other day, and one of the side effects was that it will cause cancer or death or heart attack. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like those types of side effects. And if you ever listen to those commercials, what they give you in big print, what the big print giveth, the small print taketh away. So always read the small print, because you're going to find out that those drugs and chemicals are not necessarily good for you. In fact, more people are dying from these drugs and chemicals than people are getting well from them. So you have to be careful about it. But you don't have to worry about that. There's no drugs or chemicals in this patch. It is 100% non-invasive. And let me give you an idea how it works. Again, we talked about how vitamin D gets in our body, how we get vitamin D. It's not from the sun, it's from the wavelengths of light from the sun. Well, what this patch does when you put it on your body, it actually it blocks wavelengths of light and heat and energy. If you've ever seen night vision goggles that they use in the military, they also use it if they're trying to find lost children or pets. They can literally see the outline of a body from miles away, because we give off heat, we give off light, we give off energy. We are light beings. That is why they can be seen with night vision goggles. And if you think about it, think about plants and all other forms of life. They're always reaching towards the light, because we are light beings. We are creatures of light. So what this patch does when you put it on your body, it actually reflects that heat, that energy that is trying to leave your body. And while it's warm, while that heat is trying to leave the body, this patch, because of the way it's designed, it reflects the light back inward like a mirror. So it's taking those wavelengths of light, infrared waves of light, it's waking up your copper peptides. And once it does that, it wakes up those dormant stem cells. And when your dormant stem cells are awake, guess what? They start to go to work to do what they're designed to do, which is to repair our bodies. Some people have what's called an immediate repair. We call it a one patch wonder. Well, they'll put the patch on and they'll immediately feel some differences, some changes in their body, some improvements. Some people may take a week, a month, but the bottom line is the longer you wear the patch, it is cumulative, the more results you will see. In fact, I have just the other day, I'm a deacon in my church, and we were moving some tables from the basement up into the top level. And most of the deacons in my church are in their 60s, so we don't have any really young men. And we were bringing these tables up, and one of the tables hit my knee, and I didn't feel it right away. But I went out to dinner that afternoon. I stopped at a friend. In fact, one of my good friends on the line. He hosts a podcast, a phenomenal podcast called Poetically Speaking. And I was a guest on that podcast. So when I'm sitting in the chair, and after the podcast was over, when I got up, my knee was stiff, it was swollen, and I didn't realize how bad it had been. And so when I went home that night, I put the patch on my knee. I kept it elevated. The swelling went down. By the second day, not only did the swelling go down, the pain was gone, and I was moving my leg as if it never happened. Now, I have that similar industry a lot because I played basketball at a high level for a long time. And usually when I banged my knee, they call that water in the knee. It would take literally a week just for it to go down, the stiffness to go away, for me to be able to walk normally. But because I've been wearing the pad for over 2 years, it is working at even a faster pace. So that's just my personal testimony. But again, it's 100% non-invasive. And again, it's something that you could use. You have to worry about any harmful. So that's how the patch works. Now, let's talk about the inventor. His name is David Schmidt. Now, David Schmidt is a genius. Now, it says he has over 130 patents. Every time I do a presentation, I have to update my slide. He has over 200 patents, and this year is going to have over 250 patents. He is the scientist and inventor of this wonderful patch. In fact, this is not his first rodeo. 20 years ago, he was hired by the Navy SEALs because they wanted to develop some kind of technology that allowed the Navy SEALs to stay alert on this new submarine they were testing. But they wanted them to stay alert for more than 36 hours without having that crash that you get when you have an energy drink or coffee or medication or pills or drugs. Didn't want any side effects. So he developed his first patch, which was an energy patch, over 20 years ago. He's been on a roll ever since. Because look what happened in 2008. He focuses attention on stem cell research because he specializes in age reversing technologies. In fact, out of the over 200 patents that he now has, most of them are dedicated to age reversing technology. So again, in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research because that was the buzz. Everybody was starting to talk about getting stem cell injections. And you might have heard some of the horror stories about people using stem cell injections. You get a localized injection. It usually has to do with maybe getting rid of pain. And then let's say you get an injection on your knee. First and foremost, it is expensive. I've heard prices from anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 for one shot. It's supposed to last for 6 months. There's no guarantee that it'll work. It's not covered by any medical insurance. And the bottom line is, again, you're putting foreign objects and things in your body. So again, for the most part, you're taking a chance. You're taking a huge risk. But what if there was a way that you can activate your dormant stem cells using what your body has already in it? You don't have to use any foreign things from out of your body to do it. So he spent 10 years and almost $5 million of his own money because he knew that this would work, and he developed and he came up with what was called X39. And ironically, he developed it around the time that COVID started. So again, you talk about irony. I don't believe there's ironic that this happened because you think about Lauren Picard, a gentleman who comes from he was a man of faith. He spent most of his life trying to find a cure for cancer. Then you have David Schmidt, spent over 20 plus years of his life trying to find ways to heal and help people. He's a man of faith. And some people might say this is irony. I say it is destiny. That is why things happen at a time that it does. I believe this was divinely ordered, and that is why we're seeing the miracles we are with people that are using the patch. And you're going to hear that when we get to testimonies. Now, this is a patented technology, and as I said before, you cannot get a patent for something if it doesn't work. And I'm just going to read what it said. It said it's a wearable phototherapy apparatus. It's not a drug, it's not a chemical, so we didn't need FDA approval, although we are FDA recognized. It produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief by non-transdermal container. This non-transdermal apparatus reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate levels of copper peptide, which I told you is called GHKCU, in the body. And as Lauren Picard said in 1973, if you can activate your copper peptides, you will also wake up those dormant stem cells. I must make a disclaimer that LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. It is not a drug. Again, it is a technology. Now I'm going to show you a video. It's kind of short. It's about 3 hours. So I hope you guys have coffee, tea, popcorn. Not really. It's only about 90 seconds. But this is a visual. And I know some people get a better understanding and clarity when they see something as well as hear it, and as well as see it in written and writing. So I'm going to show you this 90-second video. It's going to explain to you, one, how phototherapy works and how the patch works in conjunction with the body and how the body heals itself because of this technology. So let's watch this 90-second video, and I will see you on the other side.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each LifeWave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body and then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
So once again, if you are invited by Van Tart or any of our guests, please make sure you put in the chat your name and who invited you. Again, oftentimes we can't read a phone number or name, but let's make it clear. If you're invited by Van or any of our guests or our partners, please make sure you indicate that in the chat. Now, here are the benefits of X39: increase in strength, reduce inflammation, energy and vitality improves. You have increase in stamina. Your mental clarity improves. You ever walk into a room and then forget why you walked into the room and you walk back out and you still can't remember? Or have you ever seen someone come into a room with glasses on their forehead and they ask you, hey, have you seen my glasses? Well, that happens as you age. Again, we tend to lose a thought and a process. But again, what if you can restore your mental clarity? In fact, I'm going to show you proof. I'm going to show you a topography map, which is basically it's a scan of a woman's brain. The woman is 77 years old. She have a history of migraine headaches. I mean, really painful. And we're going to show you what happened to her after wearing this patch. Now, it restores muscle and skeletal conditions. Again, improving the sleep and improving skin appearance. I mean, this is just some of the benefits of X39. Every day I'm hearing new testimonies. Again, if you think about it, once your stem cells are active and they're healthy and they're doing what it's designed to do, it could attack just about anything that your body has to deal with. So again, those are the benefits of X39 patch. Here is the brain scan I was telling you about. This is a 77-year-old woman. They did a brain scan. And if you look at session number 1 on the far left, when she came in, she had migraine headaches and you can see the reddish orange areas. That represents inflammation in the brain, lack of brain coherence. Again, look at session. So she put on a patch on the first day. She came back 3 weeks later after wearing a patch daily as recommended. No more inflammation. Improved brain coherence. Again, look what happens in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, she had a complete turnaround. No more migraine headaches. Mental clarity kicks up. People start remembering things that they forgot, that they thought they forgot. We see all kind of turnarounds, but the bottom line is you have better brain coherence, and this is physical proof that the patch works. But understand this, because our body's made of stem cells, we have stem cells throughout our body. So this doesn't just represent your brain. This represents what's happening in your heart. This is happening in your kidney, your blood, your sugar. We've had people get off blood medication. We had people who used to get eye shots at the doctor, got rid of the eye shots. We had people who had pain, residual pain, even after surgery, the pain went away. I mean, it's incredible some of the things that have happened. In fact, you might almost say that's incredible and impossible. But again, because of this tremendous opportunity and the way that it was discovered, it is happening all over the world. And we're going to hear about some testimonies in a moment. Now, let's talk about the long-term results of the patch. I just told you what happened to me when I bumped my knee. Normally, that kind of injury would take about a week and a half for me to recover. Again, I'm in my mid 60s and I was still playing basketball in my mid 60s, still at a high level. But again, I healed very quickly because of the residual use of the patch. The longer you wear it, the more the benefits kick in. But let's talk about what happened in the first few days. In the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. And if you think about the benefits of red wine, they say you can reset 2 of your genes if you drink about a 6-ounce glass of red wine. So could you imagine how much red wine you'd have to drink to reset 4,000 of your genes? You might reset the genes, but you're going to forget that you did because of too much wine. But the bottom line is 4,000 genes begin to reset. So in the first couple of days, some people notice they sleep better. They have more energy. Some people might have pain, residual pain that reduces. Everybody's black box is different. For some people, we call it one patch one. They would put on a patch and within hours, within minutes, they'll have immediate relief. Some people may take weeks, some may take a little bit longer, but the bottom line is the patch does what it says to do. So whatever you're dealing with, if you follow the protocol and be persistent and believe that your body can be healed by what God has given us, it would happen. Within the first 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. I showed you that with proof when I showed you the brain scan. The woman had migraine headaches, her brain became balanced, her memory kicked in. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Now, collagen is very important to the body. It's not just important for your hair, for your skin, for your nails. It is like the glue through the rest of our body. So collagen is everywhere. They even sell collagen. It's a big seller now because everybody's trying to get collagen. But what if your body increases in own collagen? You don't need to have any external injections or treatments. Now, within 6 months, your heart reverses in age by approximately 8 years. Now, I know that sounds incredible, but I want you to think about this. You have two ages. You have your physical age. For example, if you're 50 years old, you've been living on this earth, you have 50 trips around the sun, you're 50 years in age, physical age. But what if you were that kind of person who exercised, you ate well, you didn't sit around, you drank a lot of water, you really took care of yourself, you didn't have a lot of stress from work and family and other things of life. You could have the physical, your vascular age could be 40. That means the vascular age measures how well your body functions, how well your blood flows. But you could be the opposite. You can be 40 years old, and because you ate a lot of fried foods, you sat around a lot watching TV, you didn't exercise, you smoked, you drank, you maybe was in a toxic environment, you was stressed by work and family and finances. If that happens to you, guess what? Your vascular age will be 10 years older than you are. So again, when I talk about your heart reversing in age, it's your vascular age. And we've had people that have had strokes that recovered. We have people that have all kind of benefits from wearing a patch. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That's a quote from David Schmidt. He is the inventor of the patch. Now, how do you wear the patch? Very simple. You wear the patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off and let your body repair and rejuvenate. So what I do in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I put this patch on, and you can put it on anywhere in the body. If you look at the two diagrams, for the purpose of experiment of consistency, when they did the clinical trials, they wore the patches on the just below the belly button or just behind the neck. And the reason for that is for consistency, but you can wear the patch anywhere in the body. Now, you wear the patch for 8 hours on, 12 hours on, I'm sorry. So I put it on at 8 o'clock in the morning. I take it off at 8 o'clock at night. I get rid of it. And I let my body repair and rejuvenate because it is well known that our body repairs itself when it's in a rest state. Next morning I get up, guess what? I put on another patch. I do the same thing. I repeat it daily. And again, that's all I do. I wear the patch daily. You can wear more than one patch at a time, but generally you only need one. That's how powerful the patch is. Drink plenty of water. I must emphasize this because if you drink more, if we drink more water, we will be healthier even if without the patch because water represents flow and movement. I mean, things are moving around in the body. Your body's getting the balance that it needs. So drink plenty of water, preferably alkaline water, or you can get water when you add minerals to it to get because our plants and our soils have been depleted of minerals. So there's a lot of ways you can get minerals in the water. You can also, again, drink alkaline water, but the bottom line, even coconut water, but the bottom line is drink plenty of water. And then that is why when you go into an emergency room, then one of the first thing they do is they hydrate you. So that's the importance of drinking water. Now, so sophisticated, yet simple to explain. Again, this patch is a technical device. You put it on your body. It's like a bandage. It has an adhesive side. And what it does, it actually reflects the infrared light that in heat that's leaving your body, and it reflects it and redirects it so that it activates your copper peptides. Once your copper peptides are reactivated, as was discovered way back in 1973 by Lauren Picard, guess what? Your stem cells become activated. They get up and go to work, and they say, okay, let's go through this body and see what it needs. Now, some of you may see an immediate experience. Some may take a little bit longer because the patch knows, your stem cells know what your body needs most. So even though you may have pain, you may also have a bad heart, bad liver. You may have some other things going on with your eyes. Anything internal could be going on, and the patch is going to go to the area that is needed the most. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to shift gears. I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen for a minute because I'm going to have our host, our guest of honor, Mr. Van Tart. He's going to give you his testimony. We also going to have another gentleman, Mr. Michael Huggins, after him give a testimony. So let me stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to see if I can find our friend, Mr. Van Tart. If you can go ahead and come off of mute and also share your camera with our guests.
Mm.
Uh, is that
It's
you, Van? All right, Ben,
Yeah,
if you
I'm
can,
here, but the camera button won't light
okay,
up.
I'm gonna send you. It should say allow you to start your camera.
Okay. Oh, there you
There
go.
you go.
All
There
right.
you go ahead, Ben. How are you? Go ahead and share with your guests and our your experience with the patch.
Okay, sure enough. Thanks. So, well, I'm 70 on my next birthday, but fortunately for me, I've never had a broken bone. I've had two back surgeries. One time it was stooping under a tree and straightened up and it started throbbing. And next time I was grabbing a file folder off the back seat of the car and turned around and wow. So nerve damage has its own category. And at times it leaves me with, throbbing pain in my foot and right on my hip. But so recently I just started wearing a patch 2 months ago. So that has gone away. I had an experience. I do power washing for a living out there, and so 2 weeks ago I got stung behind the ear by a bee. So it was throbbing like crazy, crazy. So I stuck a patch on there, and 15 minutes later it was gone. Um, my mental clarity is at a whole different level. First I should have said this first, but I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ that Dr. Stroman brought this into my life because I can actually even feel the presence of God better because of what it's done to my brain. So that's pretty much my immediate testimony. I could go on and on about other people that I've patched, but my primary motivation getting into this was financial. I was raised in poverty. I know what it's like to be on welfare, struggled all our life, but I was programmed to struggle. But when this came along, it just opened up my life. Now my dreams are real again. I got a plan to get a motorhome next summer, travel the country. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Van. And we're going to help you achieve those dreams. And that's one of the beauty benefits of being a part of this wonderful opportunity. Not only the financial benefits are just as good as the physical benefits. So I'm going to shift gears. Now I'm going to ask Mr. Michael Huggins. Michael Huggins out of North Carolina. If you can come off mute and share your story with us, we appreciate it.
Good evening, folks. My name is Michael Huggins. I've been on the X39 patch approximately 2 years now. I was introduced to it by Derek Hawkins. I'm an engineer like him, retired. Played basketball well into my 50s with my son, trying to get him up to speed and everything. So playing basketball that late in life, you're gonna develop a lot of injuries and a lot of aches and pains. But the reason for my using the patch was I've developed glaucoma, and glaucoma has robbed me of my vision. It's probably stolen between 90 to 95% of my sight. So when Mr. Hawkins introduced this to me, I said, "Hey, yeah," I said, "No, don't send me any patches. Just sign me up right there, because I'm all in." So when I got my patches, I put a patch on each temple. So, and I'm all in. On the first day, um, I'm looking for the one hit wonder. Nothing happened. So within that 14-hour day that I was up, once I was getting ready to go to bed, I'm like, wow. One thing I did, I had a notebook and I said, I'm going to chart every day to see what happened. And on the first day, I had 6 bowel movements. It wasn't diarrhea. I ate, everything was normal that I from one day to the next, but 6 bowel movements was definitely something that never happened. So and I've jotted down is that this patch does like COVID. It goes into your body and it seeks out what it needs to repair first. So from there on, each and every day I charted what it did. Um, as I said, I played basketball well into my 50s. I've had knee replacement on both knees, but you're not, they can't replace what God did. So you still have constant pain. Right now, my body's pain free. I have no pains in the knees. I developed plantar fasciitis from walking. I have no pain there. I had a swollen ankle. I have no pain there. I just get on the ground trying to keep this, the gut down and everything, to do some sit-ups. And I thought I needed hip replacement surgery. I have no pain there. Lower back, there's no pain there also. Since 1992, I fought to. I've been on high cholesterol medicine. And I did everything there probably was to do. I've probably rode around my bicycle around the world. Played so much basketball. Rode through Prospect Park. Jogged through Prospect Park in Brooklyn, New York. And I could for some reason I could not shake it. After wearing the patches for a year, I'm totally off of cholesterol medicine. Um, I came down to North Carolina for friends dedicating their house, and I developed late stage allergies, and I was taking Benadryl and Allegra as if I was eating Skittles. That's how bad it was. I was hell. One night I was trying to hawk up all the phlegm, and I started coughing up blood. Since wearing the patches, I haven't taken any medication for the allergies at all. Um, I used to have to shave. I shave. I'm bald because I want to be bald, but actually, I used to have to shave every 3 days. Now I have to shave every day because the hair and nails grow back faster. Every day now. Um, and I tell folks these days when I patched them, healing occurs over time, not overnight. So you may experience a one night, a one day hit, but give it time, give the patch time to work on your body because it's got to stop what's happening to your body and reverse the situation. So I'm all in, and I tell folks that, let's heal our bodies and without medication. And let's move ahead. Mr. Hawkins, I return it back to you.
Thank you, Michael Huggins. I tell you, there's more and more testimony. It's amazing how a lot of people they'll start out with one testimony, and as time goes on, they'll have another one and another. Even me recently had another. So again, this thing works. It's life changing, and again, you want to make sure that you share this with people that you love and care about. So what I'd like to do, I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to ask you to put on your hat for those of you again who are interested in more than just your health freedom, but let's talk about your financial freedom. We are in a situation now in our country and the world. Prices are going up consistently. People are losing jobs. AI is going to replace a lot of jobs. We thought the internet and the computers changed the way we work. I remember working in an office where we would have 50 secretaries typing letters, and the internet. Once the internet and computers came out, guess what? You can create 50 letters with one computer with the hit of a button. So that changed how we work. The things about to happen again with AI. A lot of jobs are going to be taken away. But we have an opportunity to give you financial freedom along with your health freedom. If you think about it, when people go to church on Sundays, and I talk to pastors and bishops around the country, and ask them what are the two things people most pray about, and guess what they are? Better health and better finances. So again, we have a situation where we are eradicating bad health and bad debt in our communities. We are on a mission, and we actually need to join our mission because if you have health freedom and financial freedom, guess what? Now you have time freedom to go spend time at the beach. Maybe you want to pay off the church fund, the building fund. Maybe you want to pay for a family who you know is struggling. Maybe you have family members who work hard and just don't make enough at their job. And again, you can do so much with this opportunity. I'm going to talk about that as well in the next 5 to 10 minutes to wrap up. Now, again, to have that, you need a company again that has been around. So put on your business hat. For those of you, if you ever looked at an opportunity or a company, there's certain things you want to look at. One is stability, one is longevity, one is management, one is the product, And so those are the types of things you want to look at. Let's talk about this company and why it is so successful. The company started against a 20-year-old company, opened in over 75 countries. And the reason that it is so successful because it's not a me too product. What do I mean by me too product? There's a lot of companies out there that have weight loss, skincare, and vitamins, supplements, coffee, and there's nothing wrong with those products or services. It's just that there's so many options and that you can get it from. Everybody claims to be the best. Just like in my town, it's supposed to be the best pizza in the world, and every town I go in, it's the best pizza in the world. So the bottom line is there's so much competition amongst the companies that have these products. Again, they're going to have growth, but not the kind of growth we experienced. We got started again 20 years ago when the company started. Guess what? They did $17 million in its first year, and they averaged $20 million a year up until 2021, which coincides when this patch was developed, when F-39 was developed. And let me tell you what happened. It went from $20 million to $320 million in 1 year from 2021 to 2022. $430 million in 2023, over $600 million in 2024. We've already exceeded that mark this year. We're going to be $1 billion company and growing. Again, this is something that's happening on a regular basis. So if you look at a company, you want to say, okay, is this company growing? Absolutely. And we have exclusivity. We have another 15 years on the patent. That means you can only get it through a LifeWave brand partner. So again, that's the company straight. Let's talk about uh, ranking. It was ranked by businessforhome.org, ranked LifeWave as the #1 momentum company in the world. This is they rank companies throughout the world. There's 6,000 companies on this list, and guess what? We're #1 2 years in a row. That is phenomenal growth. And if you want to be, if I'm going to join a company, I want to be with a company that's moving upward, not downward. Again, so that's what we are. This is an event we had 2 years ago. It was about 1,500 people at this event. It was in Florida. Again, that is Steve Merritt on the far left. I mean, the far right, Steve and Gina Merritt. They are the couple that brought this company to where it is. They helped over 150 people become millionaires, and they were looking for a company to join. They waited for almost 6 years, and then when they discovered LifeWave, they jumped right in. And as a result of that, we just came back from a weekend in Florida again with over 4,000 people. Again, that is David Schmidt on the far left. He is the inventor. He is the genius. This guy, I tell you, is a man of faith, but he has an incredible mind. This is just the beginning. We won what's called the Global Bravo Award, which is an award given by the Direct Selling Network, usually given to a company in its first 5 to 7 years. But we are like a 20-year-old startup because nobody knew about this company because most of the people that were using the LifeWave X39 and the patches, they were medical practitioners, doctors, herbalists, natural healers. They were just sharing it with their customers and their clients. But once Steve and Gina Merritt got hold of this and they knew how to build businesses, the company skyrocketed right now, worth, and they represent over 40% of the company's revenue, even though our team as a team has only been around for 3 years. So again, we at the right place at the right time with the right company and the right team. So let me ask you, what's most important to you? Is it family? You know, for me, family, faith, and fun. Those are the three things I love. Time freedom. How about waking up when you finish sleeping? I don't use an alarm clock anymore. I wake up when I finish sleeping. How about security? How about going to the store and shopping and not have to look at the sleeve? We call that sleeve shopping, when you see something you like until you see the price and all of a sudden you don't like it anymore. How about reading the menu from right to left or left to right instead of right to left? Going to a restaurant, order what you want, not what you can afford. How about better health? You know, if you think the cost of better health is expensive, think of the cost of bad health. And again, how about eliminating debt? I know we all can use less debt. Again, we all have more month after the money, but you have an opportunity to change that with this opportunity. Now, for those of you who are interested in the health benefit of it, you can get the patches. You can get a 30-day supply of the X39 for $149.95. It comes out to about $5 per patch. Or you can get it for what we get it at. We always call a brand partner. As a brand partner, you can get it for $99.95. You save $50, which is 30% savings. If you agree to what's called a preferred customer. Preferred customer is somebody that says, hey, I like to use these patches. I see the benefits of it. Let me go ahead and become a preferred customer to make sure I'm having these patches and wearing them consistently. Now, for those of you who want to generate income, you can get started, and I'll talk about how to get started. But we have a commission plan. We have what's called a binary plan payout. And the company, what it does, it allows you to sign up people and share this opportunity with other people. And let's say you have a family member, you have somebody who's sick and tired of being sick and tired, somebody who's wants to quit their job or ready to retire, or somebody who is forced to retire because of all the change that's happening in our government. Or, you know, what if you have somebody just sick and tired and sick and tired? If you share this opportunity with 4 people and two on your left and two on your right, we call it a binary because you only have two sides. You are building what's called a manager. And as a manager, you can earn up to $25,000 per week as you move through the ranks. But at the very beginning, you start out with making $100 a week, up to $1,500, all the way up to $25,000 per week, because you're sharing with other people. Let me tell you the benefit of the binary. In the binary, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. What do I mean by that? Let's say your name is Anthony, and that's you at the top, and you share with Van on the left side, and Van is a friend, and Van shares it with Fred. And guess what? Somebody who introduced Anthony is going to also bring people on the left or right team. So that means all of the work of the people that are above you Anytime they sign someone up, they have to be on your left or right. If they happen to be on your left team, guess what? They're going to be underneath you, and you're going to benefit from that because every time somebody buys a patch, they use the patch, they share the patch, and they continue to buy the patch and share it with other people who join as a business. They are creating what we call volume, and it's being banked. So they put in this money in the bank, and it's going to turn into commissions. All you have to do is share it with a handful of people. And what you're looking at is what we call the manager position. And anytime you get to manager, your goal is to help other people become manager. We have a very simple compensation plan. The goal is to help each other have success. The company rewards you and incentivize you to help the people that you enroll. They give you something called a matching bonus. And the way the matching bonus works is, let's say you introduce, your name is Anthony, and you introduce somebody named Van. So Van is on Anthony's first generation, or his first level. That means anything that Van does, Anthony is going to earn a 25% match. So let's say Van had a good week and he earned, let's say he earned $100 this week because we get paid on a weekly basis. Anthony's going to earn a 25% match. He's going to earn $25 because of the work that Van did. But what happens when Van is really doing well and now he's earning $1,000 per week? I mean, Anthony's earning $250 every time Van earns $1,000 a week. But what if Anthony didn't just enroll Van? What if he enrolled some more people? What if he enrolled Mary? What if he enrolled Gloria? What if he enrolled 10 people, 20 people? You can enroll as many people as you want. You will earn a 25% match on all of the people that you personally introduced to this tremendous opportunity. There's no limit to that. So the company incentivizes you by giving you 25% match. It doesn't come out of their earnings or commission. This is something in addition because you're helping them. So if you enroll somebody, you're definitely going to help them because if you're not helping them, you're not helping yourself. Now, it doesn't end there because Anthony knows and Van knows some other people. So let's say Van introduces some people. They're on Anthony's second level or second generation. Anthony's going to earn a 20% match on those people. Van's going to earn 25% because they're on his first level. But this happens for 3 levels where you're going to earn 25% on your first level, 20% on the second, 20 on the third. And here's the great thing about it. You're going to get these commissions whether you know the people or not, whether they're in this country or one of the 75 to 80 countries that we're in. You're getting paid for something that you did not do. Now, we call that pillow money because you're getting paid while you're sleeping. And I have a question for you. How many of you, if you knew you were getting paid while you were sleeping, how many of you would take more naps and get rid of that alarm clock? Well, this is just some of the income opportunity. There's several ways that we get compensated. This is just two of the many. I just want to give you a taste of it. We do train and go over how this compensation plan works. We have websites. Well, there's a form that you would fill out. And for those of you who want to really get started, we have what's called a bundle, where you can start off with a bundle. You're the kind of person to say, I want to begin experiencing this patch. I would recommend no less than 90 days. So if that's you want to get what's called a core patch, you're going to get 3 of these sleeves. A sleeve is basically an envelope with 30 patches in it. And it's a 30-day supply. So if you have a partner that a 30-day supply for you, a 30-day supply for your partner, significant other, whoever you're working with, and you have an extra sleeve, guess what? You use that sleeve to give out samples. That is how I found out about the patch. A friend of mine gave me samples. I tried the patch. I saw the benefits of it. I went from being somebody who used the patch to somebody who's sharing the patch with others. So all we do is we buy the patches for ourselves. We share the patches with people you love and care about. Some of them decide they want to continue using the patch. Some decide they want to also earn some income, so they become a brand partner and get one of these bundles. The first one's called a core. It costs $295. You get a slight discount. Again, the second one is called an advanced pack. You get 6 sleeves. That's for somebody who knows they want to start a business because they want to have inventory. You have more patches, more people you want to share with, and you get another discount because you get it for now $535 for the 6 sleeves. And if you really want to take advantage of it, the best way to get started is what's called a premium pack. A premium pack is 20 sleeves. In fact, it's actually $2,000 worth of product for only $1,750. So you get it for about $87.50. You don't have to order for 2 months because to stay active, you have to have a monthly subscription in place, which is 1 sleeve a month. But again, if you start with the premium pack, you can wait 90 days. You have to place another order. You have plenty of inventory. You're building a tremendous opportunity. All of these bundles have a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. Now, the importance of having a monthly subscription, it allows your volume to accumulate. Remember, I said the people that come in before you, when they enroll somebody on your left and your right, that person is building volume that's banked for you, and that continues to grow. And as long as you have a monthly subscription of at least 1 sleeve, your volume will continue to grow, and you can earn up to $100 per week. But if you want to maximize the compensation plan, you need to have at least a 2-month subscription in place, which is 2 of these sleeves. That allows you not only to, again, maximize the compensation plan, you need a sleeve for yourself anyway. Even if you're working by yourself, if you care about people, you don't want to just have the sleeves for yourself. You want to have your own sleeves, and you want to be able to give out samples as you pass people that you know and share with others. So again, that's important to have that monthly subscription in place. For those of you who want more detailed information, like I did, I'm an engineer, and as you know, engineers, we like to dig until we can't dig anymore. Go to thisisitinfo.com. Do not do what I call a lazy Google search. As somebody who understands marketing very well, if I was a marketer and if I wasn't doing LifeWave and I knew how successful this company is, what I would do is I would make sure to put up a link. I might mention LifeWave, but this is it. And I would lure you to click on that link. And guess what? It would take you away from the information that you're looking for. So save yourself some time, effort, and energy. Go directly to thisisitinfo.com. It only takes you 10 minutes to watch the first 3 videos. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to explain it. If you just share it with other people, it will do the work for you. So even if you're looking to get started tonight, you can send somebody the link tonight and guess what? And start building your business right away. We have another site called thisistheteam.com. That is our franchise training site. Just like if you would start a franchise like a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, you would have to go to McDonald's University or Chick-fil-A University, spend about $50,000, and it would take you 3 to 5 years to even to break even. Here we have a site called thisistheteam.com. You can literally be profitable in your first week in business, depending on how you get started. And again, on This Is the Team site, we tell you everything to do, what to say, where the script, the compensation plan, the copy of the presentation, how do you sign someone up? Every question that you will have is answered on This Is a Team. It's a very thorough site, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's the benefit of it. Now, before I close, I'm gonna ask one of our partners, if he's still online. If we have a gentleman who is world renowned, he is actually in demand all over the country. Bishops are calling them, churches are calling them, uh, pastors are calling them, organizations are calling him, ask him to come and talk about his expertise. He has a background of 30 years in finance. He's a hydration specialist. I mean, he has so many titles. He does classes and workshops. He's again constantly in demand, but he is one of the leaders in his business, and it's a blessing to have him on. I'm gonna see if Dr. Anthony Sherman, are you online with us this evening? If you are, can you come off mute and just share with these wonderful people why they should take advantage of X39 and LifeWave, this tremendous opportunity?
Hey, Mr. Hawkins, can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear, so I can hear you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, my friend. Listen, man, excellent job as usual. Excellent, excellent. I want to give a shout out to Brother Michael. He always does a fantastic testimony. And my new brother, Van, like no other. Van, congratulations, sir. Great testimony. And I want to say congratulations to all your guests that's on the line. All your guests are VIPs. I'll be very, very quick and brief. Mr. Hawkins, you broke it down. But the bottom line is this. In this world of 8 billion people, people are walking around with health and financial handcuffs. With LifeWave, we have the key to free literally billions of people. So the mandate, the opportunity, and the responsibility, if you love and care about humanity, this is it for you to get that done. And just follow what Hawkins said today. He did a tremendous presentation. Stick with the plan because we have a system that works and we're looking for somebody like you. Back to you, Mr. Hawkins. Thank you for the opportunity, buddy.
Thank you, Dr. Stroman. You said it in a few words with a lot of impact on it. So those of you who looked at this opportunity for the first time, remember, put in the chat your name and let them know who invited you. Again, we do have business building tools. We have a index card, which on one side talks about the benefits of X39, and the other side it gives them the This Is Information slide. So you don't have to say a lot. You just have to be able to give somebody an envelope and a couple of samples and say, hey, take a look at this information. Let me know what you liked about it, and go ahead and get started. We also have an app. And again, the app is actually free for those who are brand partners. It allows you to build your business. You have a free website as well. So the only difference between a preferred customer and a brand partner, a preferred customer gets a discount. They get the battery patches at $99.95 for 30-day supply, but so does the brand partner. But in addition to getting the patch for $99.95, the brand partner has an opportunity to also get compensated. They get thank you checks from the company for sharing with others. You have the website. You have opportunity to get compensated. You have access to the app. You have so much more benefits. And again, it's all optional. But again, if you had asked my personal opinion as whether you should get started to prefer customer as a brand partner, I would say get started as a brand partner because you have the same benefits as the preferred customer. In fact, you have more benefits as a brand partner. So again, you want to get back to the person that invited you. If you're a Van's guest, give them a call. Let them know where you stand on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 means you're not interested in helping other people. You'd rather stay sick and take drugs and medication. Or if you're at 10 and say, hey, I'm excited, I want to get started. Anywhere in between, let them know where you start. And if you're somewhere as a 5 or 7, 8, let us know, get your questions answered so you can become a 10 and get started and you can be on this journey with us. And we just came back from a wonderful event. For those of you who go to visitedteam.com, you will see that there are meetings every day of the week. They are training. You'll see the schedule. This is just an example of it. Tomorrow we have another call at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. We launched another business partner. So if you're available, get that information so you can plug some more people in and start building your business tomorrow. We just came back from this convention. It was called Next Level. It was a phenomenal event. We had so many keynote speakers. We had so many breakthroughs. We had a wonderful, they actually did a tribute to one of our fallen partners, Mr. Ken Robinson. Ken Robinson, just to give you his backstory, Ken Robinson was diagnosed with cancer. And he was told he was given 3 months to live by his doctor 2.5 years ago. I believe that the patch helped him extend it for another 2 years, but he did not tell anyone how sick he was. Unfortunately, he passed early this summer, but fortunately, he left a legacy for his wife and his son. He is what's called an elite senior presidential director. That means you're in the $1 million club. Again, and remember, our team has only been around for less than 3 years, and Ken was able to significantly do that. We're part of his team, and we're building a legacy for him. So again, we just came back from this convention. There's going to be another to follow. But get back to the person that invited you. Get back to Van. Phenomenal job, Van. Phenomenal job, Dr. Stroman. Thank you, Michael, for giving your testimony. And for the rest of you, your brand partners, let's go ahead and fulfill Ken's dream that we all get to the top and change lives on a daily basis. And we'll see you on the top. And before I close, I want to say this. Withhold not good to those who it is due when it's in the power of thine hand to do so. God bless you all. Have a good night. Get back to the person who invited you. And we look forward to seeing you all, as you can see behind me, on the beaches of the world. Good night and God bless.